We all search for that one question or statement that will help us close the sale. The truth is, there is no single question that will actually help you make a deal happen. It's a series of questions that you need to be asking your prospect and yourself to bring the deal to a natural conclusion. So, what are those questions? Hey everyone, I'm Ian Campbell and I'm CEO of Mission Suite. Before we jump into today's video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're notified every time that we post new videos. Questions are everything in sales. They're what give us the information that we need to qualify our prospects. They tell us exactly what the issue is that the prospect is trying to resolve. They tell us what we need to know to build a solution for that prospect. Questions tell us everything that we need to know to grow our business. That is, if we know what questions to ask. And of course, if we shut up and listen to the answers. Questions in sales need to be open-ended and probe for the right information. We all know that questions all boil down to some variation of who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? Going back to I think I learned that in the second grade. So what are the right questions to focus on in the sales process? Let's take a look at my favorites. Well, we're going to start with why. The question of why is such a powerful question, and you'll understand why I'm laughing in a minute. Understanding someone's motivation for making a change or implementing something new will help you quite a bit when it comes time to discuss your offering. There's a great video of a TED Talk by SINEK, who's the author of Start With Why, about the question of why people do anything. His talk primarily focuses on getting to the core of why you're doing what you're doing before talking about what you actually do. But there's a lot of value in coming at that same question as a salesperson to a prospect as well. In his talk, SINEK essentially makes the case that if you can get someone on board with what you do or what you're offering, then you can get them to stay with you until they can find something better. If you can get them on board with how you do something, you can get them to stay with you until they can find someone better. But if you can get them on board with why you're doing it, they'll walk barefoot through hell and back with you. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing, right? Putting it in my own language. But the idea holds true that because everyone has their why, if you can align your offering with that why, you're going to be coming at your sales conversation from a significantly stronger position. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to be inauthentic or try to be manipulative here. People are going to be able to see through you if you're blowing smoke. But if it fits that your offer is in perfect alignment with their why, then you can make sure to dial into that as you discuss that offering. But you'll only find out if you ask. Next is your how question. We're kind of working our way through SINEK's golden circle concept as we go through our questions here. How is a really important question because it helps to uncover the real impact that you might be able to make for this prospect. It's one of my favorite questions because it can really dive into the heart of what they're trying to accomplish in a very, very practical way. I'll use myself as an example here. So let's say I'm working with a business owner and I find out that their why for talking to me about automating their sales process is that they need to work less on generating new revenue and focus more on building out the next level of their service offering. Well, that's a perfect why in my world, right? And we fit really well there. Right? I mean, it lines right up with what I'm doing. But let's dive into the how. I need to know how this business owner expects that to happen to make sure that we're still aligned. For example, if he says that he's planning on building a series of funnels to manage the lead flow and make sure that he's only talking to prospects who are ready to roll and make a deal, then perfect for me. Let's sign the deal. Let's make things happen. On the other hand, if he says that he needs to automate the lead generation aspect of the sales process through LinkedIn and Facebook ads because he doesn't have any way to get leads in the first place, well, I'm not as clear of a fit there. Sure, I can still implement a system to make sure that the leads that he does generate are managed well, but I'd be better off making an introduction to one of my social advertising partners because they're a better fit for the part of the solution that he wants to work on right now. And that's all that really matters. That way, I still get to provide value to this person, and I set myself up for a good relationship when he gets to that part of the process. So tell me your favorite sales question. I just told you that how is probably mine. But what's your favorite sales question to help really get the deal closed? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're there, give this video a like so that we know that you're getting something out of it. And now on to what? Continuing out the golden circle, what is still a necessary question to ask as you're qualifying your prospect? This should be pretty obvious, but I find that it's helpful to make a point to say so just the same. You need to know what the prospect is interested in buying to solve their problem. Again, continuing down this example here, if I find that this business owner that I've been talking to about their automating their sales process is a perfect fit for me when it comes to why they want to do it and how they want to do it, I still need to know what they want to implement to actually make that happen. Yes, Mission Suite is a CRM and sales automation software platform, and I think it's a perfect fit for everyone, but maybe it's not what they're looking for. Maybe they have their heart set on one of my high-priced competitors. Maybe they don't really want a CRM, but they just want a system to automatically send these leads down an email path, but they don't really need to track any other interactions with those leads. That's okay, but it's just not my deal. If I know what their intentions are when it comes to the systems that they want to work with, I can make a decision for myself to try to keep the conversation going and see if I might be able to show enough value for them to consider Mission Suite, or simply move on because they're clearly not going to budge. Now, on the flip side, if I find out that the business owner that I'm talking to doesn't know what she wants to implement and is open to exploring her options, well, now I have a perfect opportunity to discuss why Mission Suite is a good fit. And I'm not fighting an uphill battle to do so either. Both scenarios might land me a new client, but let me ask you, which one sounds more appealing? And finally, we get to the question of when. Now, this question is less about qualifying a prospect and more about setting your own expectations. When you're selling, timelines are important. By the time that you get to this question, you already know that they're ready to do something, and it's easy to let excitement carry you away and try and rush the deal to close. We all want things to happen on our timeline, which is usually tomorrow. But what about their timeline? When are they going to be ready to move forward? More often than not, making a deal happen is going to require time on both sides to implement. Now remember, it's your job to implement, so you're always going to be ready to roll. But remember that this is most likely just one part of their job, if it's even a part of their job at all. You have to figure out how to fit into their calendar, not how to make them fit into yours. I know that in the past, the goal was always to get the deal to happen as soon as possible, and I'm as much to blame as any other salesperson for using those fear, uncertainty, and doubt tactics to create a sense of urgency, whether it's real or fake, and make something work faster than I should have. What did that lead end up doing, though? Well, every now and then, it led to a successful customer relationship, and I do have to admit that. But more often than not, it led to a client who was frustrated at having their arm twisted, reluctant to really do the work that needed to get done, and never really trusted me as the salesperson. What's more, it often led to projects that never really got off the ground, which led to more frustration, which led to an angry client, and a much shorter than average client lifespan. Now, on the flip side of this, when I was able to hold off on the pressure tactics and let the deal flow naturally, I gained the trust and the goodwill of the client. We were able to work together to implement our solutions, and the longevity of my relationship with that client increased significantly. There are plenty of people who need to act on a solution like yours right now. You're much better off going to find them and leaving the people who aren't ready to move forward on your follow-up list. As long as you know their timeline and it's not unrealistic on your end, it's not 3 years down the line, they're probably still a good opportunity. All you need to do is ask them when they want to move forward and then give them the time that they need to actually get there. Hey, I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, give it a share so that others can see it too. That really helps us with this whole YouTube algorithm thing. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you're notified whenever we post new videos. And while you're at it, check out the other videos on your screen, and we'll see you next time around. Cheers.